Welcome back. It is Sunday, August 18th in the MLB. Our three best bets are on the way. As always, it's Austin joined by Logan. Hope you guys are having a great weekend. Let's dive into a recap of yesterday. A 2-2 day, man. It feels like we've been running on a treadmill the last 2 days. We had Jays and Cubs under 8.5, pretty sweat-free. Same with the Royals and Reds over 9.5. The Royals did it all by themselves by the third inning. Our two losses are back-breaking. We had that SGP and the D-backs Rays game, lose by 1 run. The Rays score 6. And then Mookie Betts could not get us a hit to cash the hit parlay. Hey, you know what? 2-2 day. It's it's obviously annoying, but earlier on in the season, Logan and I were talking about that was an 0-4 day for us. So we're starting to see hopefully some momentum coming. I feel like a big day is on the way, and hopefully it starts with a Sunday 3-0 card. Last Sunday we went 2-0. Today we're going 3-0, and we're going to try to lock in. As always, hit that subscribe button, drop a like. As always, you can let us know your favorite tip picks down below. We got a lot of early games today. It is a Sunday, and we're going to dive into the picks. And you know what? I'll start off first, then throw it to Logan. I'm actually heading out to where we were just, I believe on Friday, we took the Orioles team total over. They cashed that. Yesterday, if you took really any overs in that game, well, didn't have a great chance, but today there's going to be a run score. Red Sox, Orioles over 9 is one of my favorite picks of the day. -105 on BetMGM. Now, I don't love the push potential here. Obviously, we're going to need 10 runs. If it ends on 9, whatever, we'll get the push. I was going to take an 8.5. Sometimes I'll lay that at like -125, but you were having to lay -140. Look, if they're going to score over 8.5, well, I'll hope they get us at least one more run. If it's a push, we'll take our money back. Now, yesterday, the O's were getting no hit by Brian Bayo going into the 6th inning. And I told you his props were a little bit weird. But in this one, I think some runs are coming against Cutter Crawford and Albert Suarez. Now, we'll start with Cutter Crawford. 4.21 ERA and a 1.11 whip. Prior to really the end of July, Cutter Crawford was a really, really good pitcher. The last few games for Cutter have not been great. Let's talk about it. Last 5 games. Cutter Crawford owning a 9.75 ERA. Hey, continue that and make that go up today. In those last 5 games, Crawford has allowed 6, 5, 5, 6, and 5 earned runs. Maybe 4 earned runs. I don't remember. He's been giving up a ton of runs. And the biggest reason, 13 home runs allowed in these last 5 starts. Now, obviously, the Orioles, a team that didn't hit well yesterday, but they do lead the league in home runs. He's given up a lot to lefties. And while he's coming off a start, he didn't give up a single home run. He still gave up 4 or 5 earned runs in that start. I might have had a typo, but it wasn't a good one for him. And Crawford has seen the O's a few times this year. In his first start, all the way back in, I believe, in April, he held them actually scoreless through 5. But then the O's made some adjustments in the next month, end of May. They got 5 earned runs off of him. You look at how he's pitched in Baltimore, 9, 0, and 5 earned runs. Now, if the 0 comes out today, whatever. We'll take our lumps there. But the fact he gave up 9 and 5 in the other 2 starts makes me think, hey, the O's, we know they've been really good against right-handed pitching. We know they have the ability to go out there and tag any starting pitcher for 4 or 5 earned runs. Coming off a game where really couldn't get anything going. Did get some stuff late in that game. They had bases loaded with 2 outs. Couldn't get that timely hit. I'm anticipating they'll be able to get them today against Cutter Crawford, a guy that's, like I said, been really, really struggling recently. Now, on the other side, we hopefully aren't going to have a Royals and Reds duplication where we just have one team scoring all the runs. But if that's what it is, O's go put up 10 for us. But we will have Albert Suarez starting for the Orioles. Now, Suarez stats on the year, pretty solid. 3.3 ERA and a 1.3 whip. He is coming off back-to-back good starts. 0 earned runs, a couple shutouts against the Jays and the Rays. Now, if we've talked to the Rays, they, outside of Gallen yesterday, have really struggled against righties. And now you're seeing Mr. Suarez with a 2.5 earned runs line at -135. So I think the books are saying, hey, we think the Red Sox get some runs off him. And prior to those 2 shutouts, Suarez had kind of been starting to get rocked. 4, 6, 3, and 3 earned runs in the 4 previous starts. We know the Red Sox one of the most talented teams against against right-handed pitchers because they have so many lefties to stack in there. They're a top 5 unit versus righties the last month or two. And Suarez isn't too complicated with the pitches he's throwing. 52% four seam, 20% cutter. He's bottom 25 in chase rate and K percentage. He is 13th in ground ball percentage. So the only good silver lining thing for Suarez, doesn't give up a ton of hard contact, so not a lot of home runs. But you think about how the Red Sox score these days, it's not really relying on 2, 3-run home runs. It's typically, hey, we're getting those extra base hits down the line. We're stealing bases and things like that. That's what I'm cool with. The Red Sox, we know they're 2nd in batting average this season. So let's say Suarez and and Cutter Crawford pitched decently. Well, don't worry, the bullpens might have our backs here. Orioles have a 6.38 bullpen ERA in August. That's the second worst. Red Sox fans might be laughing at them, but Red Sox are the only team with the worst bullpen ERA at a 6.75. I think there's runs early in this game against Crawford and Suarez, and late in this game as well against those two bullpens, which obviously I've seen the opposing teams plenty of times throughout this series. So we're rooting for runs in Baltimore today. Give me the over 9. But we're on the street, Logan. You have an over pick as well. Where are you headed today?
Yes, you will see a theme on our Sunday card today. Yesterday, we had a sweat-free over in Great American Ballpark. I told you, run back your losses, and sure enough, I told you there would be 12-plus runs. I was correct on that. I like this over a lot. It's the Guardians and Brewers over 8, minus 115 odds on DraftKings is your best value. If your book only has an 8.5 line, sure, I'd go ahead and play it there as well. Again, the 8 just has push potential because in baseball, we see a lot of, 5-3, 6-2 type final scores. So if it ends on 8, wouldn't be surprised. But yesterday was one of those comically low scoring games in baseball. It was a 2-1 pitching dominant game. There weren't a whole lot of runners in scoring position opportunities, and it soared under, obviously. In the series finale between these two teams, I think we'll see a different tone set today. Both these two starting pitchers are on my guys that I normally wouldn't want to back. If anything, I would want to target for some run opportunities. Let's start with the Brewers, and it's Colin Ray. He's starting for Milwaukee, 3.72 ERA, 1.2 whip for Colin Ray. Colin Ray's coming off a disaster class. I mean, this is just about as bad as they come. 10 hits, 7 earned runs, 4 home runs, all to the Dodgers. Dodgers had his number in that one. He was just throwing beach balls right down the middle of the plate, it seemed. Home runs could be a new problem for Colin Ray. I mean, if you look at his log recently, he's given up 6 home runs in his combined last 3 starts. So again, when he's making mistake pitches, he's absolutely paying for them. So these hitters are finally adjusting to Colin Ray. He's had some good starts in there, mixed in there, but I just think really this Guardians team is the type of team to be able to capitalize on those mistakes that he's been doing. And Colin Ray is also bad in the hard hit metrics. 17th percentile in barrel percentage, 23rd percentile in hard hit percentage. Those metrics are bad considering Colin Ray is not a consistent strikeout pitcher. He's only 23rd percentile in strikeout percentage. So all of that to say, the Guardians are a put the ball in play type team, which is what I want against Colin Ray. And they should be able to get some extra base hits off of him as well, because his hard hit numbers are not great at all. Over the last 14 days versus righties, Cleveland, 22nd in batting average, 19th in OPS, 21st in WRC+. So yes, they are back of the pack against righties, but there's a stat that I favor over all of that, and it's that they're still 6th best in batting average with runners in scoring position over that time span. So yeah, their OPS and WRC+, those run type created stats aren't great, but what I do know is they get the timely hits. And if there's a guy on second with 2 outs and there's a team that I want to hit him home, I think it's normally the Cleveland Guardians. I mean, they did it for us last Sunday. They got the timely hits when we needed. Hopefully they can do it for us this Sunday. I really do like the Guardians bats. And then on the other side, Ben Lively starts for the Guardians, 3.71 ERA, 1.21 whip. Ben Lively, like Colin Ray, he's not entering this game in great form. His most recent start, I backed him. We backed Guardians money line. Yes, we were lucky to escape out of that one. It wasn't the pitching that saved them in that game. It was definitely their offense. Ben Lively in that game against the Cubs, 3 2/3 innings pitched, 3 earned runs. He looked bad. I mean, there's no other way to say it. He was throwing pitches that were just simply in the wrong places in the zone. Again, you watch where the catcher sets up. It was not where that was. Ben Lively didn't have the soft contact outs working in that game as well, and that's something big for him because he's 19th percentile in hard hit percentage. He needs those types of soft contact ground ball outs, or else he's batting practice because he does not miss bats. He's not a big strikeout type pitcher. Also worth noting, he has a juiced 2.5 earned run line, similar to Colin Ray. Both of them have 2.5 earned run lines juiced to the over. Ben Lively's is just significantly more juiced than Colin Ray's. But that's to say that both these starting pitchers are very liable to give up 3 earned runs themselves. And then the Brewers' offense has been pretty much righty killers over the last 14 days versus righties. Milwaukee's 7th in batting average, third in OPS, fourth in WRC plus. So this is pretty much a top 5 offense against righties, and they're facing a righty that I just don't think is in good form right now. I think the Brewers bats will be there for us. And then we go to the bullpens. Last 14 days, Cleveland 10th in bullpen ERA, Milwaukee 6th in bullpen ERA. So 2 top 10 bullpens over the last 14 days. But I really think there's going to be a bulk of the runs against these 2 starters, and to where we only need maybe a few sprinkled in the later innings. I think there's just going to be runs in this game, and I think this one's kind of a different tone than yesterday's game. I love the over between these 2 offenses. I think they go berserk today. Hopefully they give us double-digit runs. That would be pretty cool. I'd love another no-sweat bet, but I have a feeling we're probably going to be sweating the 8th and 9th inning in this one. But give me the over. Love that one. But Austin, finish out the card. I know you got a late game. Where are you going?
Yeah, there was a couple different things we looked at. I really like Bobby Witt Jr.'s over in bases today. I almost backed the D-backs on the money line, but there was a pick Logan and I really liked both equally, and we had to have it on the card. And I'm rocking an Aaron Judge jersey. I'm not taking the Yankees on the money line, but I am going to Sunday Night Baseball. We're taking Yankees and Tigers over 7.5, minus 112 on DraftKings. This feels like the easiest under. People late night see Skubal on the mound versus Marcus Stroman. The Tigers can't score. I'm taking the under. No, I feel like there's going to be runs galore, especially after 2 low-scoring games in this series. The Yankees won the first game 3-0. Yesterday, everyone was on their team totaled overs against Kiter Montero. Put up a big goose egg. It was 4-0. Now with Skubal on the mound, I think runs are coming. That's just how it is. You got to fade aces on Sunday. I think that we'll see some runs. I'm not saying the Yankees tag Skubal, but Marcus Stroman's capable of giving up his fair share too. Let's talk about Skubal though. Obviously, he is a Cy Young candidate, and he's been great. 2.53 ERA and a .92 WHIP. His last 4 starts, he hasn't, been perfect. 2, 5, 2, and 1 earned runs. Faced some all right offenses in there. I mean, the game that he gave up 5 was against the Royals, a team I kind of say is similar to the Yankees. They have the ability and the firepower to put up runs on any pitcher. That could be the Yankees, but Skubal's going to go out there and he's going to do his thing. The Yankees, I do like that they've already seen him. They saw him back on May 5th. In that game, he went 6 innings. He gave up 6 hits, gave up 2 earned runs, did have 12 strikeouts. Now his strikeout prop is 6.5 or 7.5 today, which is where it normally is. And, if they get 12 Ks today, that's not great, but if they can put the ball in play or maybe see something in that film, I mean, they're coming off a 0 run game. You're going to be locked in and hopefully ready to go the next game. And look, Skubal's obviously really, really good, but I expect the Yankees bats to show up a little bit tonight, at least make Skubal work. If they can get Skubal out of there in the 5th or 6th inning, I feel like, hey, well, whatever, we did our job, and hopefully they can get the timely hits there. I mean, look, everyone backed him yesterday. First 5 team total against Kiter Montero. They put up a goose. Now, it would be funny if they were able to tag Skubal for some runs, but let's say they can't, or maybe they only get 1 or 2. We're going to need some runs up on Marcus Stroman, who starts for the Yanks, 4.01 ERA and a 1.4 WHIP. You look at his stats on the road, he actually has better splits, but it really isn't necessarily due to batting average. He's just been getting lucky with those timely outs. But his last 3 starts, we've seen him give up 3, 7, and 1 earned run. Coming off a good start, that's not Stroman. He's not a 1 earned run guy. He always is putting guys on base. And look, the Tigers offense is finally starting to figure things out. They're starting to get guys back. They got Kerry Carpenter back a few games ago, and he's been pretty good. Then also, Stroman hasn't allowed a home run in 2 straight starts, which is typically where he gives up his runs. Like, wouldn't shock me if the Tigers spawn in here and they start swinging the bats hard. They have a lot of guys that can hit the home run ball. I think we got Spencer Torkelson back as well. I think they could put up some runs on the board against Marcus Stroman. And just like the Yankees have seen Skubal, Detroit has seen Stroman. He went on May 3rd in that Yankees-Tigers series earlier on this year. 5 1/3, gave up 3 hits, 1 earned run, but 5 walks in there. Look, that's the Stroman experience. He's going to walk some guys. Comes down to, can the Tigers get the timely hits? I think that maybe today they can get some. We've seen them put up some big showings. We saw them rock George Kirby. They had some good games against the Mariners offense. I think we could see them put up some runs on Stroman. I think the Yankees could put up some runs on Skubal. And then we get to the bullpens. Detroit 7th in ERA, but they've been using a lot of guys recently. And the Yankees 20th in ERA. Yeah, Detroit hasn't had an off day in over a week. So a lot of these guys are taxed and have thrown a lot of pitches. And then the Yankees bullpens, hit or miss. You never know what you're getting there. So look, this is an easy line read for Logan and I. 2 straight pillow fights, not even get close to going over. Now you got arguably the best pitcher in the MLB on the mound. Yeah, this one's going over. This one's already green. I feel really good about this one on Sunday Night Baseball. We see 8 runs in this game between the Yankees and Tigers. I don't know where they come. I don't know if the Yankees tag Skubal or the Tigers tag Stroman or there's just plenty of runs each way. I don't know, but I'm really confident this one goes over 7.5. So to wrap up our 3 overs card, we're in the Yankees Tigers over, we're in the Red Sox Orioles over, and then we got the Guardians and Brewers over. 3 overs on the card. This is going 3-0. Let's have a great Sunday, or 2-1 at worst. Let's hope for that. And we'll see you guys back on Monday with another edition of Best Bets, hopefully bringing out the brooms then. Logan and I will see you then. Peace.